Welcome back, everybody. In today's video, we're talking new comic book series that are starting in June. So new number ones, brand new that, anybody can jump on. Let's get into it, man. I think you guys should be aware of these. Let's start off with the first one, man. We got a lot of stuff from Godzilla. If you guys are Godzilla fans, we got another series where it's Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Number 2, issue number 1. See if that makes sense. It's the second volume of the Justice League versus Kong and all that stuff. So written from Brian Briccoletto, art from Christian Doucet, and colorist from Luis Guerrero. It seems like this is going to be the Justice League returning to legendary Earth. Something with Amanda Waller. She sent in Task Force X to try to develop Titans that she can use to guard her Earth, right? So the Justice League have to go in, stop Task Force X. They're going to be dealing with all the dangers of Hollow Earth, Kong, Godzilla, and the King of Monsters. So really cool covers on this one. That's the main cover. Get this really cool cover from Dan Amora, of course. Some really cool stuff there. So if you guys are excited, if you're into Godzilla, if you're into Kong, and you like the Justice League, they're all going to be going against each other, man. So really cool stuff there. In a similar kind of vein, dude, we got Godzilla versus the Avengers. So I think this deals with, there was like a little mini series that Marvel was doing where they do Godzilla versus SpiderMan versus Fantastic Four, all that stuff. So this is another one in that kind of thing, but I thought it kind of went together with the other one. So Godzilla versus Avengers on June 18th. This says round 5 versus the new Avengers. The original new Avengers return to face an unstoppable enemy, Godzilla. In the aftermath, a massive battle between Godzilla, Fin Fang Foom, the Avengers, and Jet Jaguar. S.H.I.E.L.D. tries to make sense of what went down, but everybody's telling a different story. What really happened on that fateful clash? Find out when Earth's mightiest heroes take on the Earth's mightiest kaiju. Okay, cool, man. So, see what the Avengers can do against Godzilla. That should be pretty interesting. The creators here, none of them are familiar to me. Corey Petit looks like a letterer that I'm familiar with, but new creative team on this, so interesting stuff, man. Next up, staying in the realm of Marvel, we've got the Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 1. So I think this is Marvel's kind of big summer thing, right? They got the Ultimate Universe kind of doing a crossover with the main universe. I'm pretty sure Miles from the main universe is going to be in the new Ultimate Universe. So with writers Dennis Camp, Cody Ziegler, artist Jonas Scarf, it looks like Miles Morales is going to be caught in the middle of a universal collision. Yeah, so today's two of today's most top exciting writers, Dennis Camp and Cody Ziegler, join forces for an adventure that will change Miles Morales and the Ultimate Universe forever. So yeah, man, it looks like it's just going to be interesting to see kind of Miles interacting with the rest of the Ultimate Universe. So cool there. We got a blank cover. We get some Francisco Mobile cover. Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. See Miles Morales versus the Spot. So yeah, man, we'll have to see how this goes. You guys know I've been loving all the Ultimate Universe stuff. Not too into the main Marvel Universe stuff, so we'll have to see how this goes, man. That comes out on June 4th to start the month. On June 11th, though, we got some heat from DC. We got Robin and Batman, Robin and Batman, Jason Todd number 1. So this is a great collaboration between Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. This is going to be shining a light on the early days of a different dynamic duo. So this one is going to be focused on Jason Todd, obviously, right? So Batman has a new Robin, a rash, impulsive, reckless kid with a troubled past, who Batman was certain he could mold into Gotham's next crime fighter. But can the Dark Knight save Jason Todd from the darkness within himself? So we're gonna get a new villain setting his sights on Jason. Batman finds himself doubtful that even he has what it takes to train the anger and torment out of his new young ward. So I really enjoyed the Robin and Batman series that they did back in the day. Same creative team, Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen, but they're doing it again. They're running it back with Jason Todd, dude. So loving this. We get the Jeff Lemire cover on that too. That's pretty cool. Raphael Albuquerque variant, dude. We get a Dustin Nguyen foil virgin variant. So yeah, man, I'm excited about it. Like I said, Jeff Lemire, Dustin Nguyen, letterer Steve Wands, of course. Jeff Lemire loves working with Steve Wands. So I'm excited about that. It comes out June 11th. Jumping back over to Marvel, we got Death of the Silver Surfer, issue number 1. This is from writer Greg Pak and artist Sumit Kumar. So excellent stuff, man. Very hyped about this. Silver Surfer's final voyage. The Silver Surfer returns to defend a war-ravaged Earth, but Norrin has a galaxy-sized target on his back. A new enemy will stop at nothing to steal away everything the Surfer is or ever will be. A single human life may be all that decides the human's salvation or damnation. If the Silver Surfer falls, then who wields the awesome power cosmic, and what of the Surfer's old master Galactus, devourer of worlds? So, you know, just an interesting story from Greg Pak with illustrator Sumit Kumar, man. So I don't know, dude. You know, Silver Surfer is a character that I want to read more of, and it seems like Greg Pak would have a great grasp on how to write a good Silver Surfer story. So we're excited about this. June 11th, really cool cover on there, very striking. The death of the Silver Surfer. So yeah, man, excited about that. Moving right along, we also have Blood Type #1 from EC Comics or Oni Press, as you might know them. So this is spinning out of one of the short stories in one of Epitaphs from the Abyss, right? So this is going to be the first ever kind of like ongoing series, I guess. Whereas previously they were just doing, you know, anthology horror stories. This is going to be the first series that kind of spins out of that. So when you're a vampire, everybody sucks sooner or later. Meet Ada, an immortal vampire whose misdeeds have landed her on the doorstep of an idyllic Caribbean resort, an island paradise teeming with wealthy tourists and superstitious locals, an ample food supply for the thirsty vamp looking to get away from it all. But as Ada stalks the boundaries of her new hunting ground, she'll soon be embroiled in a deadly game of cat-mouse by moonlight. As a older, wiser, and entirely different kind of predator reveals its own carnal hunger for greed and power. Who will survive when a brand new kind of blood type declares war on a cunning bloodsucker with nothing to lose, and what will be left of them? So this is an interesting thing. I only brought it up because, you know, typically they do the horror anthologies, like I was saying. This is going to be the first kind of main series where every single issue you can expect this character doing her thing, man. So interesting stuff from EC Comics and their new, you know, blood type series. So this just seems like a cool character, and I remember this the short story. It was a highlight in this issue when it came out, so that's cool, man. Not familiar. Oh, art from Andrea Sorrentino, so that's interesting. After all the AI stuff over in the Batman issue, kind of the falling out with his relationship with Jeff Lemire, got the colorist Dave Stewart. So interesting stuff, man. We'll have to keep our eyes on Blood Type coming out June 11th from Oni Press and EC Comics. Moving right along, got a couple other series. Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman, issue #1. Tom King and Belen Ortega take breakout star Trinity to her own miniseries. So this is great news, man. The you know, all of the Trinity stuff in the Wonder Woman series, all the back issue, short little mini stories, those are great. I think this is awesome. Totally awesome for you know, those that want to find out more about the Trinity character. Like me, we haven't found out too much about her through the Wonder Woman series. Let's find out more about Trinity, dude. I'm excited about it. So Trinity with art from Belen Ortega, written by Tom King. That should be a ton of fun, man. Trinity, Daughter, Wonder Woman, coming out June 11th. Moving right along. Now, there's a couple weeks where not too much comes out, but we do have, closing out the month, we have the new History of the DC Universe coming out on June 25th. Learn the definitive history of the DC Universe. In celebration of 90 years of DC, superfan and writer Mark Waid turns back time to the very beginning of the DC Universe in a 4-issue miniseries drawn by some of the DC's greatest artists. So this is interesting, man. We get art from Jerry Ordway, Todd Knock, and written from Mark Waid, like they were saying. So very interesting kind of project. The new history of the DC Universe, kind of a more, you know, more modern take. Got these awesome cover from Chris Samney. If I'm not mistaken, I think the covers all connect. I could be wrong though. But yeah, man, we got some Dan Mora variant as well, Ryan Sook variant. A lot of cool people getting involved. Got this Stanley Art Germ foil variant for Wonder Woman. So yeah, man, I'm excited about this. The new history of the DC Universe, 4-issue miniseries written by Mark Waid. How can you go wrong, dude? So June 25th, excited about that. Next up, last series, man, we got news from the Fallout. This is from writer Chris Condon, who's having an absolute, you know, heater of a, you know, a streak of great series. News from the Fallout is got art from Jeffrey Allen Love. Let me read the, you know, solicit here. In 1962 Nevada, a nuclear bomb test goes horribly awry and unleashes a contaminant into the atmosphere that turns people rotten. Otis Fallows, a private in the US Army who was present for the test and is the only known survivor, flees the secret army base in search of a safe haven, but does such a place exist? So yeah, man, the new hotness from Jeffrey Allen Love. This series is incredible, dude. The art is really, really fantastic. Very kind of washed out, not a ton of colors, very kind of monotone sort of look. I'm loving it, dude. I had the fortunate enough to read issues number 1 through 3 from Chris Condon, and this is a series to be on the lookout for. So I think it's gonna go for 6 issues total. Dark sci-fi horror story, and I loved it, dude. Chris Condon, you got a hit on your hand, buddy. So yeah, man, excited about that from Image Comics on June 25th. If you're like a fan of the Twilight Zone in the best way possible, this kind of reminded me of the Fallout. This news from the Fallout kind of reminded me of the Twilight Zone episode straight from the show, man. So excellent stuff. That's what we got. The 9 comic book series that I think you should be aware of coming out in June. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and read more comics.